Hello everyone, Lucky Mies over here, and Prinz Rupprecht, Ironblood's Battlecruiser. I have to say that was weirdly pronounced, but Ironblood's Battlecruiser Prinz Rupprecht. Now that's a better one. So, Prinz Rupprecht is a very interesting ship, I have to say. I did some few runs before I made this video, but Prinz Rupprecht is from the PR Series 5 research ship, and Prinz Rupprecht origin is from World of Warships Tier 9 Battlecruiser Prinz Rupprecht. Now, I apologize if I mispronounce the name. Especially Germans. Heavily apologizing for that. Prinz Rupprecht. Let's start with the character design. Just look in her rigging, you can see, I don't know, are these dragons or sea serpents or something like but probably not sharks. I'm very confident about that, just looking their head designs. I believe they are something like sea serpent, and the core of the rigging is something perhaps, I guess, just behind Rupprecht, the giant. I guess this probably is the core of the rigging. But I also believe she is a very short girl. But she also appears in the Azur Lane Slow Ahead series. You can find it in the manga. Now, as with the Prinz Rupprecht, she is paper ship. Now, if you look into the World of Warship version of the Rupprecht, you can see that yes, you can see the guns. 406mm ones are here, but we are still missing the Azur Lane version from these type of guns. To compensate for it, temporarily for now, it's just the prototype 406mm SKC-34 main gun mount that you can actually find from the Friedrich der Grosse class battleships. Now, as for the skins, she gets 3, her main one. And the Gate Dragon's Advent, you can see that her rigging has changed a lot to be closely a dragon, Emperor dragon, I think. And then there is a Midnight Pearl swimsuit, not bad at all. But how is her stats? Now, if you oath her and maximum level her, you can reach her HP close enough to 9000 HP. It's not impressive, but thanks to the heavy armor, she can actually survive really well, especially against the normal NHE. But if you fire the AP and torpedoes, yeah, that HP is not gonna last forever. Now, as she is not gonna survive for long. Now, as for firepower, 390. Well, it's there and there. It's not impressive as well. But I believe, thanks to her big guns, 406, I believe, it can do the job. But I think the firepower also affects to her secondary role. As for AA, well, she gets some degree of AA 335. Her luck is 15 maximum if you fully upgrade and level up her skills in the research apartment. Now as for torpedoes, yes, she has torpedoes. 313 points. And her speed is 32 knots. Her reload is 156. Her evasion 401. And her accuracy 68. Now as for her gear efficiencies, she has 3 main guns, which has 145% efficiency. Now with the secondary guns, she can have either destroyers or light cruiser main guns with 180%. That is a Bismarck standard secondary efficiency. And she gets one entire gun with a 110% efficiency. Now I want to say about the Prinz Rupprecht, one thing is that in World of Warships she is a secondary battlecruiser, good armor, low HP, but thanks to her secondary guns, which are effectively high accuracy in tier 9 standards, she doesn't represent that much in the Azul lane, but we will see. But first, let's check for the skills, excuse me. First is Lindworm, Devouring Fang Plus. During battle, this ship gains level 10 special secondary gun. Every 5 times she fires this secondary gun, launches level 10 special barrage, and restores 2% HP to the ship with the lowest HP percentage in the fleet. The 4th time she fires this secondary gun, increases this ship firepower and torpedo by 15%. Now, personally, I think this is a little bit backward. Every 5 times, this special secondary gun. Yes. She launches the barrage and heals one random character with the lowest HP with 2%. And the 4th time she fires a secondary gun increases, but if you ask me, I would have put it this 4th time first and then the 5th time like below. So like it doesn't confuse that first it fires 5 times, it does the barrage, and every 4th time she fires this secondary gun, increase this firepower and torpedo by 15%. I am not sure how long range does this secondary gun has. So hard to give my full opinions about this. Because in World of Warships, Prinz Rupprecht secondary range is respectfully long in tier 9 standards, but of course there are better ships nowadays. Now as for the defensive Lindworm, Protector's Oculus. When the battle starts, if this ship is your flagship, it decreases this ship damage taken by 15%. If not your flagship, decreases damage taken by the ship above your flagship by 8%. When this ship fires her main guns, 8% chance to fire special barrage. Damage is based on skill level. And again, you can actually have Rupprecht as your second flagship. If you want. It is a risky move with an HP like this. But then again, I don't know, does this work on herself? Because if not flagship, decreases damage taken by the ship above your flagship by 8%. I'm not sure, but I have tried in the past that having Rupprecht above the flagship, and that buffs somewhat effects on her. But honestly, I am not sure does it work on her or not. Oh, the old version of the devouring fan was like during the battle, the ship fires a level 10 special secondary gun. Every 5 times it fires the secondary gun, launches level 10 special torpedo barrage. The 8th time she fires the secondary gun increases the ship firepower and torpedo by 15%. So they have dropped from 8 to 4, which is a really good thing, making it more efficient. For the build I have temporarily, because I am not sure how to make her properly working. Actually, let me check something. Nowadays we have gears. Yes, you can see some anti-heavy armor burst damage here, and anti-mediums, anti-light armor types. But I think this has more likes on the anti-heavy armors and burst damage over here. Not bad build. But before we go to the well, actually I'm gonna tell my opinions in the voiceover part. And of course he has Siren Killer number 3, I almost forgot about that. 15%, so I can actually use her in the Operation Siren more efficient. Now then, onwards to the voiceover part, see you there. Alright, voiceover Lagimias over here, and now Prinz Rupprecht. Battlecruiser with the secondary capabilities. Now the fleet I'm using Prinz Rupprecht, she is a flagship. Second ship is Thuringen. With the prevention of starfall. When the ship finishes loading her main gun, 70% chance to fire level 10 special barrage. When an enemy is hit by this barrage's blue shell for 10 seconds, decreases that enemy's evasion by 8% and increase their damage taken by your airborne ships by 12%. 11, excuse me. 10, 12, 11. Well, anyway. So yeah. Thuringen is given this random buff thanks to her fast reloading main guns, and Friedrichter Grosse is the pack-in, giving the fleet fire support. So, as for the Vanguard, I have Aegir, thanks to her survivabilities, and Jet 52. Now there was a skill, if I recall, if I can find it real quick. The Thunder Guardian decreases the ship damage taken by 50%. Every time the Thunder Heart gains 6 counters, restores 1% of the ship max HP. Every 2 times the ship HP recovery activates, perform... was it this one? The ship in your fleet with the lowest current HP percentage recovers 2% of her max HP. So Thunder Guardian is also keeping fleet decently alive. And Felix Schultz Spa Cruiser. A really large destroyer. Now, Prinz Rupprecht. Yeah, my weaponry with her was a twin 150mm SKC-38 secondary gun. They were purple. Yes, there are better options, I can admit. Now her entire gun is twin 105mm SKC-33 AA naval gun with a time fuse on it. There are also better AA guns there, but just for research purposes, are the time fuses good or not? As for auxiliaries, high standard fire control radar from Eagle Union. Decreases the loading time of the first main gun volley by 15%. That's good enough. And for temporarily, I have auto loader to make her guns reload decently fast enough with the 15. Well, if you're gonna be just in pinpoint, approximately 16 seconds. So some of them, well, Turingen is giving a damage buff, yes sir, if the barrage activates, that's the problem. But other than that, Friedrich and Rupprecht are doing a good job with that. And I admit, now if I pronounce this correctly, I had to quintuple recheck myself about the Rupprecht's secondary performance. And yes, it really grinds my mind that her secondary performance is 180%, not 200%. That's too low for a battleship. Now, when you have Lindworm Devouring Fang Plus, I noticed, and I think you can also notice in the background footage, the middle ship is the flagship, which is Rupprecht. You can almost see the AP shells. Those are secondary shells. Now I am not sure which one is the Ghost secondary gun, the Skill secondary gun, and which one is the main light cruiser gun I have on the Prinz Rupprecht. Hard to say which one is one, but I believe the one that goes really far away has to be this Lindworm secondary gun. And I noticed every fourth time she fires this secondary gun, increase this ship's firepower and torpedo by 15%, so that's instantly. And when the fifth time arrives, she launches this torpedo barrage, I believe, and restores 2% HP of the ship with the lowest HP percentage in the fleet. So if I had like some kind of skin in the secondary slot with the making my life a little bit easier to notice, does she fire this secondary gun I have on her, or is it the Lindworm secondary gun? But I admit it has decently long range to actually activate very often. Now thanks to map 14, like over here. If you recall, I have absolutely despised its night combat effectiveness. Debuff to the accuracy, and of course the lighthouse, the flares. This could be a really good map to use battleships with a really bad AA, but because of the nighttime affecting the accuracy, it's just not good. not good in my opinion. So if you have Prinz Rupprecht like in a map 14, now we have map 16. Enemies 130 level. That's a really hell of a place to be. But I'm confident what I heard last time about map 16, that there is no anti-air requirement that much. I hope there is no, but I need to recheck myself after this, if I remember. I think Prinz Rupprecht could work in map 16, but I am not so sure about 15 thanks to the ridiculous amount of planes in the sky. But I'm very confident she's a really good secondary ship after all. Her Ghost, her Lindboom secondary has a good range. It fires very often, and it's very effective just to activate the torpedo barrage and the healing effect as well. And it was very surprising, to me at least, that this build I have in Prinz Rupprecht, she outperformed Friedrich really often. But of course there was Aegir taking MVP and Felix Schultz taking MVP. But Thuringen is there giving this damage buff, that's her only purpose in this fleet I am using. So yeah, I'm very confident that she is very good battlecruiser. Now, as for the build, there are good ones, but with the build, well, I think it's AP shells, so perhaps medium armor focused build like AP shells. Well, you can have an HE cells if you want, making her flexibility against light and medium, and having other ships deal with the heavy armor enemies like aircraft carriers or other battleships with the really heavy hitting AP guns. So yeah, I'm very confident. She's worth to build. I approve, I have to say, as an Iron Blood main, I approve Prinz Rupprecht. But before I end this, I have to wonder. Now we have Prinz Rupprecht on the World Warships, that's tier 9 battlecruiser for the German Navy. German Tech 3, excuse me. Is there possibility to have the tier 10 battlecruiser? Was it the okay, sir, I'm not the Adalbert, that's the tier 10 large cruiser from the German Tech 3. That's a wrong ship. Now I forgot the name, apologizes, but tier 10 battlecruiser or a secondary battleship, something like Crosser Kurfürst. Now that's, I've been wondering, a full secondary battleship with the main gun, secondary gun, and second secondary gun with the flexibility to have either destroyer gun or anti-air gun. That make me wonder actually, like Crosser Kurfürst, that if that ever happens, I really wish to see her as the Iron Blood's ultimate brawler. 2 secondary guns and perhaps some extra skills with the secondary guns. And the character like wielding the Zweihander, you know, the good old Zweihander. And what's wrong having a little bit really ripped body with her? I don't know, just me dreaming here. What's wrong dreaming a little bit once in a while? But either way, if you don't have Prinz Rupprecht, I highly recommend building her. She works really well in map 14. And other maps that doesn't evolve much of the entire gun evolvement. And in Operation Siren, I almost forgot. But as of the exercises and PvP, well, you can try, but there are so many meta fleets there that I think she's having a hard time to survive in exercises. But you can try, I'm not stopping you. But I wouldn't personally recommend having Prinz Rupprecht over there. Now then, I think we have finally come to the end. She's a worthy ship, I say. She's a worthy ship. Now then, we have now come to an end on this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.
残念だわ。